If you've already been watching the Money Growth Academy, you know we take your EKG seriously. That's your ability to earn, keep, and grow your wealth. We advocate a lot for generating wealth to free yourself and doing that by creating your own business. But sometimes before you can get to that step, you've got to go out and get a job. To get a six-figure job, you don't have to go to college and get a degree. Check out this video on the top 7 highest paying jobs without a college degree. But before you go and watch that video, finish watching this one because you'll be surprised at the jobs that are vanishing. I was surprised to find that one of these secure six-figure jobs is disappearing. Before the video continues, pause it, and down below in the comments, I want you to guess and list out 5 jobs that you believe will decline within the next 6 years. While the video is paused, hit that subscribe button to become part of the community here at the Academy. Let's get right into the list of jobs disappearing and discover why they're disappearing and what alternatives exist. So, postal service worker. In my video, top 7 highest paying jobs without a college degree, I actually referred to this job, but new data is showing that this long-time secure job where you can make an average of $56,800 and postmasters can make around $75,000 with just a high school education is dwindling away. Now, while an average annual income of $56,790 for a high school grad with short-term job training sounds excellent, it's not. The profession is drastically downsizing by 28%. Over 38,200 jobs will vanish. Now, reasoning behind the massive loss is the change in consumer behavior and advances in technology. People would rather send an email than send a letter through the mail. Companies like Amazon have also begun to heavily invest in their own delivery fleets. Now, lawmakers, after seeing yearly losses, have been advocating to end federal funding, and an alternative would be going to work for UPS. Now, UPS is known for its great benefits, health insurance, and high average pay of $74K. And I'll be talking in a future video why the UPS is a great option for someone who doesn't want to go to college. Next on the list is metal and plastic machine workers. If you like working with your hands, a lot of those jobs may be disappearing. Now, metal and plastic machine workers averaged around $37,500 a year with just a high school education and a few months of training. That path is coming to an end with an expected job decline of 13% by 2027. This once strong American industry employing more than 1 million people is at risk of vanishing in the coming decades as advancements in machine technology continue to make low-skill positions obsolete. Now, more affordable foreign alternatives also exist. And however, as low-skill jobs are replaced by high-tech machines, it will create a new industry for more high-tech positions within the manufacturing industry. An alternative career path would be a CNC programmer, or in other words, programmers of computer numerically controlled metal and plastic machines. With the rapid increase of advanced new age machines being deployed, this career is expected to multiply by 15% in the next 10 years with a median salary of about $52,500 a year. Up next, a travel agent. If you've ever wanted to be a travel agent, you might want to rethink that. This field is drying up extremely fast. There's a projected decline of 12% by 2024. On average, most travel agents only made around $36,460 a year. However, some agents make double that, if some even more. Now, travel agents are disappearing fast with the ease of applications available. The last time you went on a trip, did you call an agent or did you hop on Google Flights, Kayak, Momondo, Skyscanner, Airbnb, or any of the other dozen trip search engines that can find you a dirt cheap deal for flights, hotels, and cars? With hundreds of blogs and YouTube channels of people giving you step-by-step itineraries of what to do when you visit a specific country, you no longer need a dedicated travel agent to set up your schedule. The next job disappearing is data entry personnel. A common trend across the country for companies has been to cut expenses wherever they can. One of those big expenses is data entry personnel. If you're currently in a data entry job, get prepared because by 2026, more than 45,300 jobs will vanish from this industry. Companies are beginning to turn to automated softwares as well as offshore data entry personnel to complete this low-skill work. And an alternative would be, rather than be a data entry person, become the broker between the company and offshore personnel. Start your own company and develop your own network that provides low-cost offshore personnel to enter companies' data. Also on the list, bank tellers. With a high school degree and a month of training, you can become a bank teller for a whopping $27,260 per year. Now, if the income wasn't enough to dissuade you, the 8% job decline by 2024 should. In the fast approaching years, that means over 41,000 tellers will be out of a job. Now, traditional banks are receiving less foot traffic nowadays. Everything you need to do can be done from the comfort of your cell phone. When was the last time you stepped into a bank? Banks are also having to cut expenses in order to compete with the rise of online banks. You can check out some of the online banks we've talked about right in this playlist here. All right, also on the list, computer programmers. One of the most shocking jobs to disappear is computer programmers. For the last 10 years, programming has been considered one of the hottest and most secure jobs, with the lucrative pay of $84,000 a year, with some making well into the six figures and not necessarily needing a 4-year degree. However, by 2026, more than 21,300 jobs will vanish. So before you go join some computer programming school or boot camp, take a hard look at the decline expected. The need for computer programming is not disappearing. It's just that more of these jobs are moving offshore, since they can be performed in countries that offer cheaper wages and equal skill level. Now, an alternative would be to become a computer programming consultant, or starting a company and becoming the middleman that hires offshore workers to program for companies. Now, this field and skill can also be lucrative if you plan on developing your own company. Cashiers are disappearing. If you've been to the store recently, you've probably witnessed cashiers disappearing. Now, don't freak out. No need to call Liam Neeson. No one is kidnapping them. I remember walking in a Home Depot one day and noticing that all the cashier stands had disappeared and that they were replaced by 6 massive self-serve screens. You'll see this in Targets, Walmarts. Even if you want a Big Mac, you now have to type it all into a machine. And cashier jobs have been a staple for high school kids and dropouts since no formal education is required. The median pay is a measly $21,000 a year. Even with such low-paying jobs like this, companies are having to cut expenses in order to compete with online retailers like Amazon. And just a thought for you, but isn't it crazy that shoppers at, for example, Home Depot have now become employees that have to scan and bag their own stuff? We are essentially working for these companies while we buy from them, and we don't see a penny for that work. If you've wanted to work with flowers and open up your own flower shop, you might want to rethink being a florist. By 2027, there will be an 8.3% decline in the industry of 51,000 florists. Now, boutique shops have become a thing of the past, with most people opting to buy flowers at local grocery chains. And if you want to be a florist, the best bet is to apply for a position within a grocery store. An alternative would be to transition your skills for arrangement to interior design. Interior design positions are expected to grow by 6% and require some level of education and possibly licensing or certification, but it's a great option if you already have an eye for detail. Next up, agricultural workers. For American high school graduates and dropouts living in rural areas, farm and ranch labor has always been a go-to. Those days are coming to an end, with projected job decline of 6% by 2024 and steadily decreasing every year. Now, advancements in agricultural equipment and technology have been to blame for the decline. An alternative would be going to a mechanical trade school so that you could be the one called on to repair machinery when it fails to perform properly. This one's going too, guys. Fast food cooks. If you've been planning on surviving on a fast food paycheck as a cook, you'll need to rethink that, because by 2026, over 27,100 jobs will vanish. In recent years, as fast food workers have demanded higher pay, companies have begun to invest heavily in technology and machines that can replace more individuals within the kitchen. In the next 8 years, there will be a 5% decline in the number of cooks needed. There are so many jobs vanishing from our economy. This is just a short list of 10, but there are hundreds of jobs that will disappear in the next decade. The reason I wanted you to see this is to show you that the job market is fluid and is always changing. There are no guarantees. The only guarantees are the guarantees you can make. That's why we advocate for becoming an entrepreneur. It's our job to prepare ourselves and our kids for the future, and not just for today. Now, check out our other videos on how you can prepare yourself for the future by generating more wealth, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. See you guys later.